Welcome back to Momentous Struggle, a Star Wars Shatterpoint podcast. On today's episode, Aubrey and I are going to release an announcement that has been in the works for a little bit of time now, and also go over the events that are going to be happening surrounding this announcement. So let's go ahead and jump into it. As always, joined by Aubrey. How are we doing today?
Oh, I'm very excited, Todd, not just because of our announcement, but I'm finally reaching the point where at least our kitchen is more or less put together in the new house so we can eat food again without having to go out to eat like every night and killing my budget.
No, that's good. I mean, not killing your budget is very important, so that's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and just jump into the announcement that we are going to be having. We are going to be joining Professional Casual Network at Adepticon. Professional Casual Network, if you don't know who they do coverage for most of the major Marvel Crisis Protocol events throughout the country. They cover LVO, Everwinter, the Atlantic City Open, along with a couple of smattering of other events as well. So they are very active in the MCP community. They are going to delve into Shatterpoint, and they are bringing Aubrey and I along with them to Adepticon to provide 4 days of coverage for Shatterpoint. Super excited.
Yeah, cue Imperial March music right here. We are coming to Adepticon. Are you ready?
Yeah, super excited. Super excited to be going out there. Really excited to see the games that are going to get played. So that's kind of what we're going to break down is what our tentative schedule is for coverage at Adepticon, as well as what some of the other events that we probably aren't going to be able to do coverage for. So for anyone who doesn't know what Adepticon is, and if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know what it is anyway, but Adepticon is basically, for in the United States anyway, the largest miniatures convention in the country. Probably close to the world. If I'm being honest, I think it's probably one of the biggest ones. People come from all over the world to play in it, to play in whatever events they're playing in. A lot of the World Championship events for the miniatures, outside of like 40K and the Warhammer community stuff. A lot of the World Championships happen here. So that's the big thing is like why it's such a big event is a lot of World Championships happen here. So because Shatterpoint's really still in their first year, we're going to be covering their first year of coverage there. This is the main event that AMG usually is involved in. They're the ones who run all the events and everything like that. So super excited to go and be part of that.
Yes, I have been the one big thing that I've been missing just between the last few years of the pandemic and then switching hobbies is that there's not as many, like tabletop big events. Like I'm used to Magic runs events all around the country, all around the world, and uh, I'm looking forward to seeing the big giant tabletop convention and see everybody having fun.
Yeah, you weren't able to join me at LVO this year, which is a giant convention in and of itself. There was, I think, over 5,000 players between all of the different games at LVO. So it's a giant convention as well. I mean, mostly a lot of that is attributed to the giant room of 40K players, but it's still a great event with a lot of players for a lot of different things. So basically, though, jumping into this, if you go onto the Adepticon website, they have a breakdown of all the different things that are there. You can go and look at under the info and look at all the info event for each individual thing. And if you break it down, basically you can go all the way to Shatterpoint. On March 21st, that's the first day of actual gameplay at the convention, so that'll be Thursday. There's a couple different events that are going to be happening. To be fair, most of these events are already sold out, so if you haven't bought your tickets, well, you can live vicariously through us as we go ahead and stream all of these on Twitch. It will be through the Professional Casual Network's Twitch channel, from what I would assume. And I will definitely put a link to that in the description of the podcast on how to find their Twitch channel if you are going to be interested. So they are going to be having a Learn to Play event, as well as there is a Star Wars Shatterpoint One with the Force League, which sounds really cool. That one is not sold out. The cool thing about this one is, so basically it's a large scale organized play. You can earn cards throughout playing in this event, and they haven't really They just kind of teased them. We don't know what they are, but you choose either if you're going to be on the light side or the dark side, and you're going to collect cards throughout the event as you play. And on top of that, you can play as many rounds as you want, but you really want to kind of cap out at 5 rounds per day, and you earn 5 tickets for the prize wall. So if you play in all 4 days and you play your full 5 events, that's 20 tickets a day, 80 tickets total that you're going to be able to use at the prize wall, which is really cool.
Yeah, prize walls are so much fun. That was always a big part of the end of Magic cons. You'd go up and like you'd be like, "Hey, I need 20 more tickets. Can I trade you?" Or like you're pooling and trying to get the big giant prizes and like I never understood how people could get so many tickets and so like this one with the Force League, if we weren't already going to be extremely busy, Todd, this is what I would gravitate towards. This looks like a lot of fun and also like relatively low stakes. You get a ticket, get a ticket for participating. You get to have fun. I really, really want to know what those cards do now that we've seen what like the Ewoks have.
Yeah.
So this is that absolute like I know it's silly, but I'm almost tempted to sign up for this one and just get like a game in a day or something. But I know that's a bad choice. I know that's a bad choice. But just trying to explain to everyone how excited I am about this particular event.
Yeah, I mean, as long as our days are going to be like you trying to squeeze in a game, there is going to be a little challenging. But like who needs sleep? You're 4 days at Adepticon. You don't need sleep. So no, it's. I mean,
Oh, oh.
I echo your sentiment when it comes to Magic and like the prize walls at Magic. When I like after, if I wasn't trying to grind for a pro tour or something like that in Magic, I was all in on doing the side events at Magic events where it was like I would just bring my whatever deck and I was like I would just okay, I'm going to sign up for every single one of these side events I could do and just grind out as many tickets as I can. And I mean, that was awesome because I would end up like at the end of the convention be like, "Hey, I got a full booster box of this and a full booster box of that." Like if you knew how to play and you just grinded that out, that was my bread and butter, man. I love doing that.
Oh yeah, like my first few years of going to Magic conventions, I was always entering the main event because like the main event is the flashiest thing, the most fun. Like you think about it as like, oh well, this is the most challenging part, the most fun. But like as I kind of moved away from wanting to be really hyper competitive in Magic, I found I had way more fun just entering like these league games where yeah, like you get fewer prize tickets like in one go, but you consistently pick up prizes or prize tickets over the 4 days or however long the con is and oh man, I was over drafted doing all this fun stuff. Meanwhile, a couple of our friends would be in the main event and they're sweating bullets because they're really close to making the second day, and like you could see them start to get really tense. And I'm like, "Hi guys, how
Yeah.
you doing?"
Yeah, so that's so if you are going and you don't have a ticket to get into any of the events because like I said a lot are sold out, definitely would be a fun way to go about it. So the main event of the first day that they have though is actually called Star Wars Shatterpoint Frenemies. This one is really intriguing to me. So basically what it is you build it's just a strike a showdown event, not a premiere. So you build a squad, but your squads have to be different tags, and each squad is has to consist of one tag, and the opposite strike squad in your strike force has to consist of another tag, but cannot share the same tag as the other. And they're going to basically have 3 rounds of this with a cut to top 4. And again, prize tickets are going to be awarded for this. Looking at the event rules for this one is really interesting. So basically, your squad has to consist of only characters that share one of the following tags: Galactic Empire, Galactic Republic, Rebel Alliance, or Separatist Alliance. So we know that like the bounty hunters are out. And then each squad has to be separate from the other one. So like a character in one squad can have no tags from the other squad, which is really cool. So I think this one is tailor made for a father son list when you're looking at Vader and Luke. I think that's going to probably be like the really cool one to see going there. So that's my call out. I could also see like maybe like a Dooku Mall list or Dooku Mom list, which would really be interesting as well. What do you think, man?
No, 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 Todd, you skipped over a very key detail. It is only only the four tags:
Yes.
Galactic Empire, Galactic Republic, Rebel Alliance, Separatist Alliance.
Hmm.
The rules even say the unique design of this event may mean that certain units aren't able to be played.
Yep.
So you can't run Maul, you can't
Oh,
run
you can't run
Mama,
Maul.
right? Because
Right.
he's not
Yeah.
separatist. She's not separatist. You can't run Cad because he's just a bounty hunter. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have
Nope. He
the
doesn't.
separatist. Yeah, he like right.
Right.
So there's several primaries that you can't even run Ahsoka, right? Is she, because she's not oh wait, is she Galactic Republic but not Jedi? Maybe she's Galactic Republic but not Jedi. I didn't think. I got ahead of myself, listeners. My bad, my bad. But regardless, you have to run. Everyone has to have those tags. So like, there's no Obi-Wan out of hiding because he's not Galactic Republic or Empire.
Yep.
So you or Rebel Alliance. So he's out. Can't play Obi-2. No mind tricking people in this event. And then I just like you could do Empire and Separatist Alliance
Hmm.
together. Like that's interesting. You could do Rebel Alliance and Galactic Republic, or do what you're saying, and like you could do Vader Luke, which I think, I mean, both the new Vader and the new Luke look very strong. So if you like, if those two end up being really good boxes, then I might get a lot of people playing father take his son to work day on the Death Star too. I think that's what happened in Return of the Jedi, right?
Something like that. Yeah. So Ahsoka Jedi No More though does have the Galactic Republic tag still, so
Ah, okay,
you
okay.
could end up
Fine.
playing her, but none of the Mandos in the core box are going to be able to get played. So they're out.
Nope.
Like you were saying, Maul is out because he doesn't have that. He's just Dathomiri and Shadow Collective. So and so he's definitely out. Um, Inquisitors,
Even
I
the
should be.
Ewoks are out
Are
because
the,
the Ewoks just have Endor and Ewok. They don't have Rebel Alliance,
that's true.
or at
Yeah.
least like, because Leia is what gives them Rebel Alliance for like those synergies, but they don't have it themselves.
So I think they would be out because of that. So yeah. So she's out. So
So if you hate teddy bears, then this is the event for you.
So yeah, there are some limits to it of what can be played in this event, which is really cool. I mean, when it comes to secondaries in this event, I think that the king, of course, is going to end up being Django for sure. So you're probably going to see a lot of Django's, or we're going to probably see a lot of Django's on this one. I guess is a better way to put it, because Django is going to be king for sure on this one. But
Yeah,
so
The Dooku box, just Dooku box plus something else. You'll probably have a good time.
yeah, I think so. I think that's going to pretty much going to be the Dooku box. We're going to see a lot of that. I think we'll see a lot of Luke and a lot of Vader. But basically, overall, the schedule and all of this is on, of course, local time to Chicago. So there's going to be 3 rounds. We're going to have rounds. One is going to it's a 2 hour round. So you have round one, round two, like at 8:30 and 10:45 locally are those 2 rounds. There is going to be a lunch break of 45 minutes, and then starting at 1:30, there's going to be round three, and then after that, they are going to cut to a top four. So 3:45, they're going to have 1 round, and then there's going to be another 45-minute break. And at 6:30, we are going to have the final round of that, and we are going to be on coverage for that entire event for the entire day. So you will see our smiling faces.
Yeah.
We'll probably take breaks in there as well. I know Tim from Professional Casuals has told me that in the event that somebody over on the MCP side needs a break, I might be jumping away from our coverage side and helping out the MCP side a little bit. But I think Aubrey, for the most part, will be covering Shatterpoint nonstop.
Yes. Yeah. It's gonna be long days, but it's gonna be fun. We it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, very excited. I'm excited to see because like I know that there's a lot of for sure the guys over at Hello There are going to be playing in some events, so I know that we'll be seeing a lot of them throughout the days, and I'm sure they'll be on coverage for at least a couple times throughout the weekend in the different events that they're going to be playing. And so you'll probably get to see some of your favorite people. Of course, you're going to see our smiling faces, which you're going to just love to see anyway, and that's really what you're coming to Adepticon to see me and Aubrey talking nonstop.
I mean, they a lot of our listeners are just listening to the podcast, Todd. I don't know if they actually all want to see our faces.
Uh, well, you can cover your screens, I guess, for that part. Like I've told like I've
Mm-hmm.
told many people, I do have the face for radio.
Ooh. I mean, you definitely have the voice for radio, Todd. Come on, come on.
I don't even hear it, but I guess we can't hear our own voices. So, no, but yeah, I'm excited for day one. Looks like it's going to be a fun but busy day. I mean, it's about 12 hours from start to finish for that event, so it's going to be a fun one. And then we move
Oof. Yeah.
And then we move on to, and also, as of the time of this recording, there are still 2 tickets available for the Frenemies event. So if you're on the fence about playing, that one still has a couple tickets available. And then, of course, you'll probably have to be on standby if someone drops at the last minute if you're at Adepticon. So then we go on to Friday. Friday's going to have another Learn to Play event, which again is sold out. And then they have this one's going to be the team event that day, which is pretty interesting. It's a two-person tournament. Like you bring your strike force and your partner brings their strike force. So you're gonna have a combined 4 squads. What's really interesting here is you cannot repeat the combination of your strike force throughout this entire event. So my team A is going to play with your team A, and then your team B, and then your team B is going to play with my team A and your team B. So it's always going to have these different armies, and it's basically each person brings their own squad, and you play that way. So it's really interesting how this is going to end up playing out.
Yeah, that detail of no combination of squad pairing may be repeated throughout the tournament is interesting because it's not it is you cannot escape your destiny, but it has an extra restriction. So uh like I guess I kind of like that it's like a team up theme to it, I guess, like because you're already playing with a second person, which I know we've talked about it in the past, but just reminder, listeners, if you've got a lot of people who are excited about Shatterpoint, that's how I learned to play with Todd. Actually, as my stepson would like play one squad, I would play the other squad, and like we would just play against you most of the time,
Yeah.
and it was actually a lot of fun. Like I think this game would be really good as a 4-player game or even three player
Hmm.
like because of the fact that you just you flip over the order deck. If it's my squad, okay, I go. If it's your squad, you go, and you get to talk out strategy with another person. And it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is a very there is a very viable place in Shatterpoint for 2v2. I think there's a couple different ways to do like team events. This is definitely one of those ways that you could do it. You could also do like a more of the World Team Championships type of format where each person has their own strike force, and they play against someone else's strike force, and you have 3 people on a team doing that. So there are definitely different ways. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. And of course, this will be what we are going to be covering on Friday. This one is not going to have a top cut. It's only going to be 4 rounds. So it's just going to, you do your 4 rounds, and whoever wins basically wins type of a thing. So we'll be doing 2 rounds, again, 8:30 to 10:30, 10:45 to 12:45. And then this one is going to have an hour and a half lunch. So we're going to, from 12:45 to 2:15 locally is lunch, and then 2 more rounds, 12:15 to 4:15, and then 4:30 to 6:30, and then 7 o'clock is the awards for that. So a little shorter of a day for us because there's only going to be 4 rounds.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's going to be interesting. So it'll be fun. This event definitely is already sold out. The 32, so the full 32 teams are already set. They're at home working on their strike forces and everything along those lines that they're going to be bringing. So I like this one. I think this is going to be very, very cool.
Yes, and also don't forget. So there is the extra detail of what is it called? The Adepticon Army Showcase.
Hmm.
So if you are entered in the Shatterpoint team tournament, you are automatically entered into the Adepticon Army Showcase. Now, I mean that participation's optional; it's just by default,
Hmm.
and so there you'll get to you'll get access to present your armies to a panel of judges. The judges are going to, select a winning team, and I mean, it's cool. It's gonna look at like quality of the painting, conversion work, the display of the army. Even I love this detail. I know everybody. I'm the lore guy, but depth of the lore represented by the army or display, like that's pretty cool. So if you want to show off your squad, uh that's the hopefully you've entered this event already, right? Because
Right.
it's full.
Yeah. I mean, and so if you haven't been to Adepticon or you haven't seen the pictures from Adepticon, that is one of the biggest things that people do, especially in these team events. Like if you, I know from like the MCP event last year and the years before, people go all out on these events and their displays. They have some of the most amazing displays for their armies, whether it's, whatever army it is, their displays are amazing. The amount of work people spend all year putting these things together. And like hopefully we'll not hopefully I'll be running around taking pictures like crazy because I just love taking pictures and posting on Facebook groups and stuff like that for all the different pictures for especially like locally. I think when I was at LVO I was going round by round finding all of the local players and taking pictures of them and posting them in different groups. So I'll be taking pictures, I'll be posting them on either our Facebook page or probably on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that for sure. So they'll definitely be out there and taking pictures just to show off the amazing artwork that so many people in the community do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This sounds like a lot of fun. I like that it's even tied to an event, right? So
Hmm.
you get the story of the event and the story of the competition, and you get to see all the cool stuff that people are doing. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna show up with Vader. He's gonna have an actual fluttering cape up behind him. I'm calling it right now, Todd. Somebody's done it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure somebody's done it. The amount of amazing ingenuity and just imagination that a lot of these painters and just creators and artists have. It's just amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that is basically going to be Friday at Adepticon, and then we jump into the weekend. There is another Learn to Play event that day. Doesn't look like any tickets have been sold for that one. So if you're still looking to learn how to play Shatterpoint and you're at Adepticon, Saturday's your day to sit there and jump in and start doing some stuff. But then we jump into the main event. We have 64 players. It's completely sold out already, but it is going to be day one of the Premier Showdown. 64 players playing. I believe it's going to be a total, and don't let me double check here, but I'm almost positive it is going to be a total of 5 rounds on day one. Oh no, just 4 rounds day one. So 64 players. So that's awesome. Basically, it's you're going to be your standard Premier Showdown event here, where you're basically bringing your two squads or your four squads, and you combine those to make your two. Of course, making sure that every squad gets played at least once. Or like so, every squad needs to be represented at least once throughout the tournament, which in a 4 round tournament shouldn't be too difficult.
Yes. Yeah. Not that I like that it's only that first day that we tried to squeeze everything in
Right?
into one day.
Yeah.
Because you might see me yawning a little bit at this one because we'll be day three. So
Yep, day
here we go.
three, day three, another 11-hour day for us with from start to finish, from registration until the awards happen and everything like that. Most of the awards, you're probably not going to get a whole bunch of awards because again, this one is going to have a top cut. So you are going to have 4 rounds, but again, these are 2 hour rounds, 4 rounds, and we're going rounds one and rounds two are back to back. Rounds three and round four are back to back. So if you go to time, you're just jumping right into the next round between one and two or three and four. Luckily, there's that lunch break in there, but you need to be like the players that are going here, they need to be prepared to potentially be playing for like 4 hours straight, just and everything like that with no time. So it will be interesting. It's going to be a tax for I think some of these players when they start getting to that last round, that round four, where it's going to be rough. I think it'll be interesting. But like I think a lot of the players that are showing up are pretty conditioned for this kind of environment too.
Yes, yes. Uh you would not have been able to convince me, Todd, before I started playing these tabletop games, how physically demanding standing at a table and moving my little plastic men around was would be. Like you're leaning across the table, you're measuring things, you're like you're squatting down to get at eye level with the mat and figure out line of sight and things. Like I'm like I get tired. Like by the end of a couple of rounds, you're like, why do my feet hurt? What? What? All I've been doing is, oh, right, standing for 4 hours straight.
It is a challenge, man. It's funny to like sit there and listen to some people and like how much it truly does start to impact you, like these long days. I mean, and depending on the individual players, like if they're signed up for multiple events, like let's say you did the team event and then you're going to jump right into, the Shatterpoint event, you're going to be looking at quite a bit with all of that. You're going to be looking at multiple days of doing all of those events and everything like that. So it will be interesting to see how this all plays out when it comes down to it. So yeah, it's well, you know what? So it's 64. They're going to 8. Yeah, I think it's going to be 4 rounds. I don't. It doesn't. There's not actually a rules for a rule sheet for that. You have one for best buds, one for frenemies, one for the team event, and that
Oh no,
is.
there's a premiere showdown.
Is there a premier
Yeah,
showdown?
yeah, I've got it right here. So it's
Is this? Oh, here it is. Yeah, here I found it. It was
yeah.
buried
So
between.
Saturday is the 4 rounds, and then Sunday it's 3 rounds. Is how they're doing the three
Yep.
because
Okay.
it's a top because it's the top eight, right? You
It
do
is.
uh 8, 4, 2. Yeah, three
Yep.
rounds.
Yep. Okay. I know. I found it. I had. I was. It's buried in between the two different showdown packets. So on their things, I'm
Yes.
like, oh, that's what it was. So yeah. No, I found it, and yeah. So it's still, yeah, four rounds. It will be interesting. I mean, but again, there's a non-prize wall awards on this. They're for best appearance, which is best painted strike team. There's going to be the best display again, and there's also going to be one for best spirit. So, and that's one of the things I like about these events is that
Yeah.
even if you're losing, if you're enthusiastic about the game and you're having a good time, there's non-prize wall awards for all of these events that just here you go, here's what you did. So, and that encourages all these players to definitely have, put the work into making these amazing displays, making, putting the work into having these really nicely painted armies and everything along those lines.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that and this is again me just comparing to the Magic community, but there's a strong sense in the tabletop community of like everything is not always hyper competitive. We get to celebrate the creativity of players and the artistry that's involved. And maybe that's just because of the component, the hobbying component of the games, that there's you're building your playing pieces and painting them and all the care. Like it's a slightly different environment, but like now I'm just thinking, I'm like Magic tournaments, they could have like been giving out prizes all this time for like best cosplayer in an event or best like team spirit. Like this is really cool. Like I like the fact that like spirits and the lore part is all getting celebrated not and this is in a our premiere event. Like this is the more competitive event and
Yeah,
we're still doing that.
and we're still recognizing the community as a whole and being part of the community and enjoying the entire hobby, not just being good at the game, but actually being involved and good at the hobby. I mean, and everything along those lines. So I think I like it. I really do love that. And as we were alluding to, there is going to be a top cut on Sunday. That will be, of course, it's top 8, so 3 rounds, and this is the last day of the con. So it's going to be 8:30 for round one, 10:45 for round two. There is a lunch break, and then the finals will be at 2 o'clock local time, with the final awards being at 4. Keep in mind, last year, right around that lunch break time, that's when we had the show that they put on with the all of the spoilers that they had for the next coming year, and everything along those lines. So I am figuring this is just based off of last year. We're probably going to be having that same show that they had last year where everyone kind of gets together. And luckily, the boys over at Professional Casual were able to stream that. So we will probably be able to live stream that right on Professional Casual Network as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
So that is basically, Saturday, Sunday. So Sunday, because there's a top 8, there is still going to be another Learn to Play event. That one also is sold out as well. But they also have another event in case those people that didn't necessarily make it to day 2 to that top 8 of the Premier Showdown event. There is the Best Buds competition. So that is a 30 or 32 player event as well. This one is kind of the opposite of the Frenemies one. So basically, your list building is more of the classic team, where you're just going to sit there and build the team that you're looking for. So, based off the rules, it says this is for those who want to challenge their list building skills in a more classic Star Wars team building experience. More information can be found basically on their event page. So, they didn't go into too much with it, but ultimately, the rules are each you choose one of the tags: Galactic Empire, Galactic Republic, Rebel Alliance, or Separatist Alliance, and you cannot include characters in the Strike Force that do not have that tag. So everybody has to have that one tag. So more than likely, with what has been coming out, you're not going to have much in the way of Galactic Empire unless you're doing like a Vader Inquisitor list. Rebel Alliance, there's going to be a little bit more room there because of the Ewoks and the Luke box. So you're probably looking at a lot of Separatists and probably a lot of Galactic Republic.
And actually, remember the Ewoks don't have Rebel Alliance. So
Oh, that's right. I keep
unless
saying
the
that.
unless the Han box comes out, which I don't think it, we don't have a we don't even have a date. Like, I don't think you can play Rebel Alliance either. I
No,
think it's you're either playing Vader Inquisitors, anything you want in Galactic Republic, and like Dooku Grievous, which I mean, Dooku Grievous list sounds like it's probably gonna be steamrolling some of these others, unless unless Vader and the boys make the Inquisitors work a lot better.
they might. They might.
Yeah,
Because now, I mean, you could. The thing is with that is like now with that Vader box coming out, you can do Vader, Stormtrooper Sergeant, and both of the Inquisitors as support. So there's a team to be made there, but ultimately, I think
that
you're
sounds.
look. Yeah, ultimately, I think you're looking at a lot of droids and a lot of clones for this event, but I still think it's going to be an interesting. Yeah, but you're like you were saying, this one's probably going to be closer to that list that we were looking at before. This one will not be streamed because it's going to be going at the same time as the top 8. So we will be definitely be just streaming the top 8 for that. But this is
Right,
a 3 round
right.
event. It's going to be a little more on the casual side, I think, because like I said, the more competitive players have either didn't sign up for this because they're anticipating making the top 8. So, but there are 2 tickets available on this one. Also, at time of recording, might be sold out by the time that you're actually listening to this, though. So yeah, but that's all the events that they're going to be having at Adepticon, and basically what we're going to be covering and streaming ourselves. So just to give it another rundown, just to kind of cover it, we're going to be covering on Thursday the Frenemies event, on Friday the team event, and then day 1 and top 8 for Saturday and Sunday of the showdown.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is my first Adepticon, and here I am getting thrown neck neck deep into coverage. But it's all right. It's all right. We will I will get to see what everyone else is doing and having fun with all of these awesome events. Like I can't wait to see uh what those light side and dark side cards are in the leagues. I can't wait to see how all these like restrictions are solved by our players because of all the different hoops you have to jump through in your squad building. Like it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be very interesting. I am really excited to see, and for some reason, I just keep on wanting to make Ewoks be Galactic or Rebel Alliance because they're just awesome that way. But I guess I was wrong. I keep on wanting to just bring them along with me. Come on, little teddy bears, let's go fight the good fight. But no, we're not going to see any teddy bears.
Nope, you're not Leia. You don't get to make them honorary members of the Rebel Alliance. No, no fun for you.
That's just
I wonder, Galactic Republic. If somebody can just unlock that code, it does feel like there's going to be something interesting that comes out.
I think so. I
Or
think
Dooku and Jango will just kill everything.
I mean, there's that. I mean, you do have Ventress. She's a separatist alliance character for as well. So you do have that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't. Let's see. I'm just gonna looking over at all of this really quick. Primary wise, oh, you do have Savage also. It,
Oh, that's true. You could go for a more aggressive route.
so I mean, you're probably looking at a lot of droids, but you could do, like I said, you could do a Duke or like a Ventress with Savage type of list, and then just throw in, one of your like maybe your B2s or something like that, and then just have Dooku with who would Dooku with Django and just the Dooku box Django and Magna
Yeah,
Guards. I mean, you could. So there's a little bit of play, like because I think no matter what, you're bringing the Dooku box there, and
yeah. Dooku Grievous
mhm.
might just do well here.
Oh yeah, I
With
mean
either Kraken MB2s or Kalani and B1s. Like you got some stuff here.
you do. Yeah, there's definitely some options. I mean, there's always the ability if you wanted to do Dooku with Kraken and the Magna Guard, if you really wanted to go like a all in droids. So yeah, I mean, there is that. Looking at now, let me look at the Galactic Empire. Galactic Empire, yeah, it's literally just Vader, either one of the Vaders, Grand Inquisitor, the Stormtroopers, and the Inquisitor. So it's the Inquisitor box, the Vader box, and you also have the Vader one also, Jedi
Yeah,
Hunter. So
yeah. No, that's pretty much your list. And I wonder. I wonder. I mean, this will require some testing, but I wonder if Jedi Hunter is actually better than the Emperor's Servant in this situation. I almost feel like you might want Emperor's Servant instead.
probably potentially. I mean, a lot of people like just Jedi Hunter just if you're going to go straight aggro. I mean, I think it really depends on the playstyle you're trying to accomplish. For sure. I mean that they're two very different Vaders, and I know we've had that conversation before, so it'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, which one is going to really give the which one's going to make your Inquisitors better is really what it's going to come down to. Is it going to be Vader where you're just going to Jedi Hunter where you're just going to want to kill people, or is it going to be something else? I don't know. But
Yeah. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what people bring.
oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. And as far as let's see, and the only other one, Rebel Alliance tag. There's yeah, no, I don't know how you can do that other than it's you. I don't think you can.
Nope, there's not enough supporting units actually. You technically have enough primary and secondaries, but
You don't have enough
they
supports.
you don't have another support because you can run the whole Luke box and then you can try to run the Leia box, but oh no, you wait, no, you can't even because Leia's I forgot.
Yeah, yeah,
Bush is Leia. So
yeah.
yeah, no, you don't even have you at best if you wanted to run uh a rebellion list even in the frenemies event, you'd have to do this weird amalgamation of like Luke, R2 and C3PO and like oh wait, no, Lando this is no.
Because
Yeah, oh
you can't do Lando R two
you'd
D
have
two because of
yeah,
C3PO and
yeah,
R two D two.
so your only option is to run the Luke box. Like you have like if you want to play Rebel Alliance in the frenemies event, you just have to run the Luke box
Yeah,
because there's there's all this overlap in weird ways. Oh man. Okay. All right. Sorry, everybody. Might be tired. Might be tired.
No, I mean, and it's so that's kind. I think that's probably in the back of my mind why I was wanting to put Ewoks in there because it's just I don't know how you can play Rebels without it unless they're going to allow the unexpected allies to bring to allow you because they will, yeah. So the unexpected allies basically says Rebel Alliance units have Ewok tag, Ewoks have the Rebel Alliance tag under
So
unexpected allies.
does that count?
I think so. I think if you bring Leia, it is going to give them that tag. So because they have the tag, you have to bring Ewoks. So if you add that piece into it, then you can do
Then you
Rebels. It's just going to
yeah.
be Ewoks though. I mean that's really what it's going to turn into is Luke with Ewoks, I think. Luke and Leia.
With an Ewok secondary because he can't because you're gonna have to have Leia as the other primary, so no Boosh.
Boosh,
Anyway,
Bosh, yeah, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think
yeah.
I it's so yeah. I mean, it's basically you have to bring Leia, no matter what. She's hard in there as one of your primaries, and then you either go all Ewoks or you can bring Luke and some other stuff. But yeah, you're hard set on Ewoks basically is the way that it's going to work.
Mm. Yeah. Assuming it works that way, which I think, I mean, that's how I would interpret it. But of course, this is a document that was just created now for rules for a single event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I mean, and there's a room within the Ewok boxes because you have access to multiple primaries then with Logray, with Leia, with Luke. You have multiple secondaries then with the two different Wicket and I can never say Paplo, whatever his name is. Um,
Paplu, I don't know.
yeah,
Paplo.
so between those two, and then you have those. You have R2D2 and C3PO. You also and then you have the Ewok trappers, the Ewok hunters. So yeah, that's the only way that you can make this happen is if you're bringing Leia. I think to add into
Yeah,
that.
that must be the intention then, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to give you the option of Rebel Alliance for some of these events.
Yeah,
So they that that makes sense.
yeah. Because if you add those two tags in, it just works at that point in time where you can sit there and play all the Ewoks. Yeah, I mean it's difficult having the identity of each one, like as you have two Leias, you have two R2s, so it restricts your list building a little bit. But it is going to be interesting to see kind of how people build around these and how they make that work.
Yeah, it's a fun puzzle.
Yeah,
These events are definitely for the puzzle people.
without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, and then lastly, I mean, looking at tags that for those events, you also have, of course, the Galactic Republic as well. I mean, and that's got a deep roster with, Anakin, Obi. I mean, you still have Jedi Hunter in there too, Darth Vader. You have Lumi, you have Mace.
No, no, just no.
Come on, the happy couple, man. You can play Darth Vader and Padme and just do the happy couple team.
Uh, no. He choked his pregnant wife. They know. Oh well. Oh well.
But yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah, if
there's
you want options, just pick Galactic Republic.
yep.
You can do whatever you want then.
And Plo's going to be out at that point in time too. So we know Plo's going to be out. I mean, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, it got pushed back another month. So you're gonna if people are gonna want to play it, they're gonna be having to get on their horse about painting it pretty quickly here. Because I mean, looking at the countdown, Adepticon as of the recording of this episode, Adepticon's 44 days away. So we're closing in. We're almost a month away from Adepticon. So
Ooh,
it's
that's
gonna be
fast.
right. It's popping up. It's popping up fast. So I mean, but overall, man, it's gonna be. like I said, I think this is going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend. A lot happening. It's going to be a whirlwind of a weekend, and I'm looking forward to. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing all the PCN guys. That's that. I love Tim Taylor. I haven't met Dan in person from PCN, so and he's going to be there. So just the whole PCN family is going to be really cool to sit there and see all those guys again.
Yes, yes, and I'm not as on Twitch as often, but I'm just excited because this will be my first time ever doing anything like this. So new experience, get to apply some of the work I do as a librarian in an entirely different venue. So it'll be
Yeah,
fun.
I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a blast. But yeah, it's gonna be like I said, and also gonna be so interesting to see like what people do and what they bring. I mean, we're not gonna get to see a lot of Cad Bane between this all the different side events. He's probably only gonna be available like in what the team event and the main event. Not going to get to see Mom in a lot of events in the Night Sisters. Not going to get to see Maul. So there's going to be and the what do we call them, the Mandalorians. I mean, so there's going to be a lot of different characters that aren't going to get highlighted in like the frenemies and the best buds, but hopefully get to see some of those characters shine in the team event as well as the showdown event.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's we're gonna have a lot of interesting squad pairings running around.
Definitely. Like I said, I think most excited to see the team event and kind of just see how that works. I think that's the one thing I'm super excited for. Of course I always like seeing the high level play that comes with like especially this the Premier Showdown is going to be. I think that's going to bring the best of the best out, at least locally, like for the people in the United States that are able to travel. I don't know how many people are going to be traveling internationally at this point in time. There's a lot of great players and a lot of big people in the community in Australia, but that's a one heck of a flight for them. So I don't know how many of those guys are going to be able, or how many of those people are going to be able to make it over. I know a lot of Europeans come over. I know on the MCP side, Pat Dunford, he's like probably one of the better players in the entire world. He actually made it over to Adepticon for MCP last year, so maybe we'll get to see a couple people come over from across the pond and actually play. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's great to hear that it's such a global event too. You know,
With
get to see players from all over.
Without a doubt. So what is the event that you're most excited to see out of the ones that even if it is the best buds, which we won't be able to get coverage, but which one's the highlight for you? Do you think? Which one are you excited for?
I mean, if we're just going in terms of flavor, I like the frenemies idea. I like that you're going to be forced to team up, the unlikely team ups of like those episodes of Clone Wars where like Anakin and Obi-Wan want to kill Dooku, but then they have to like use his help to escape from them all being captured or
Hmm.
whatever. Like, so I think that one's going to be the most fun for me. And then, I mean, it's just going to be exciting to see high level play of
Yes.
Shatterpoint because a lot of what we've been doing is we're helping grow the community and teach new players and we want to create a good environment and now this will be really kicking the tires on what uh professional or competitive
Yeah.
play is going to look like for Shatterpoint.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's growing the community. I think that's kind of something that you and I have been really kind of focusing on locally too. Is like trying to bring that out. Like I know I'm going to one of the LGS's Imperial Outpost and doing two teaching games on Wednesday. We also went out to Gamers Guild this past weekend and played there. I mean, and that's an amazing story in and of itself. Those are probably like as far as Shatterpoint community locally, those are our two biggest stores that are really doing it. I mean, Gamers Guild has a dedicated Friday nights is for Shatterpoint and Legion, so they have a lot going on. They have a dedicated ambassador for the store that helps to sit there and make sure the games are going off without a hitch. So I mean, I really enjoyed playing over there and just meeting some of the new players on that side, and hopefully we can help grow the community over there. And then, like I said, teaching at Imperial Outpost, helping to grow that community. I know there's a lot of people locally that are like trying to get just a citywide league going on. So there's a lot of growth that can potentially happen here, and I think this is something that will help spur growth is by having a nice event like this that's going to help build the community. I know the first attempt at like a large event was kind of didn't happen at LVO. I think there was a lot of hope for that, and that kind of fell a little flat. So hopefully this will be a better experience on the larger scale of events. And I think with AMG having a hand in it, it should do that. And then you add in, I mean, hopefully we can help create a better event for LVO, and we can start seeing more growth as things go on too. So that's the hope, is that we can start growing this into a better game, and having those events that people that are have that thirst for the competitive events can start moving towards on the in the real tabletop world.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's been a long time since been at the ground floor, the starting point, the early days. I'm actually, I'm gonna be a little jealous of watching some of these players play over the weekends because like I'm excited to do commentary and to get to talk about this game that we both love. But playing is playing, Todd. I'll just have to live vicariously through everybody I talked to over the weekend.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think it was funny. I mean, but I will say, I mean, I going back to doing coverage at LVO, I got to do coverage for just one match, and that was so fun. Like especially the match that I got to call. I was calling a match for Vodka Blitz, who's a French Canadian player. He's from part of what's called the Montreal Shark Tank. That's the name of his team, and they are a very amazing group of players on the MCP side. And getting to watch him play and call his match was just unbelievable. So it's like I really enjoy that piece of it, and I'm really looking forward to like that translating to Shatterpoint and watching some of these amazing players and like how they approach the game, and being able to see that firsthand and everything is going to be one of the things that I am very much looking forward to.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Well, I think that kind of like wraps up what we wanted to talk about. Like I said, I think everyone can kind of tell we're very excited for Adepticon to hit, and for the this event March 20th through the 24th is going to be Adepticon. We are super excited to sit there and be going and being part of that event, and just putting our little stamp on it. Where I'm again can't express how grateful I am to Professional Casual for the opportunity to sit there and share our love for the game through them. So again, very thankful for them. And other than that, I do again want to say, if you yeah, thank you very much. But as far as if you want to help support us, the best way to do so is go ahead and like, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. Rate, review the podcast on whatever podcast platform you are listening to us on. But other than that, again, thanks for listening, and may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.